Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Rishi Harinanan. C News is live at noon. Topping the news at this time, police continue their investigation into the kidnapping of the owner of the Puff and Stuff Bakery, Gregory Liang. According to reports, he was abducted outside his business place in Vistabella at around 3 o'clock this morning. Police said a demand for ransom has since been made in the sum of $250,000. Police say they traced a call for the ransom from the Beetham area. Investigators have so far impounded and are examining the car belonging to Mr. Liang. Port of Spain South residents say they are enraged and angered by the return of their MP Marlene McDonald to the cabinet. At a press conference earlier today, members of SIPO's cultural workshop and organization aimed at community development said since their MP has not been very active in supporting the constituency, youth activist for the group Kingsley St. John said he is disappointed with the decision to increase her portfolio.
For the last 15 months, when Ms. McDonald lost her position, I watched a parliament, the goodly lady, the honorable lady, ain't got up one day to speak about Port of Spain South issues. After 15 months, she was removed from the Ministry of Housing. She didn't get up to speak about Port of Spain issue. And today, we see a person who get back reward for being in the backbench and in make a contribution in Parliament after 15 months.
President of SIPO's Cultural Workshop, Michael Morgan, said they have written to their MP and Port of Spain City Council about building a facility to assist street dwellers in the area, but it was not acknowledged.
One expected to be unemployed and denigrated to poverty, while there is preferential opportunities afforded to other segments of the society. I hasten to mention a proposal submitted to the Port of Spain City Council seeking permission of a temporary assessment facility to accommodate street dwellers. We propose utilizing the former IDC building located on Duncan Street, Port of Spain.
Well, the Prime Minister has asked the President to appoint Marlene McDonald as the Minister of Public Utilities. This was one of the several changes made to the Cabinet last night and is to take effect today.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has informed President Anthony Carmona to revoke the assignment of Fitzgerald Hines as Minister of Public Utilities and reassign him as Minister in the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs to assist the Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs in the performance of such duties as he may specify. He said Mr. Hines is a former member and a trainer in the police service. He's an experienced attorney at law with a master's degree in constitutional law and will remain a member of the cabinet. Marlene McDonald is to be appointed Minister of Public Utilities. The President is also to allocate to Ms. McDonald the responsibilities for the business of the government, including the administration of the departments as specified in the schedule in accordance with Section 3(9) and 79(1) of the Constitution. In March 2016, McDonald was fired as Minister of Housing after it was reported she had employed her common-law husband, Michael Carew, in her Port of Spain South constituency office. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has also advised the President to revoke the appointment of Ayanna Lieber-Lewis as the Senator and to appoint Alison West as Senator and Minister in the Ministry of Finance to assist the Minister of Finance in the performance of such duties as he may specify. Additionally, Nicole Oliver, who was removed as Minister of Energy last year, is to be appointed as Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries. These changes take effect from today, Thursday, June 29, 2017, and the swearing-in ceremony is expected to take place on Friday, 30th June.
This is the C News Live report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at C News Live. Well, political analyst Dr. Winford James says the reappointment of Marlene McDonald is a slap in the face of the United National Congress.
I think the Prime Minister is responding to the fact that at least some of the things that Marlene McDonald was accused of are things that UNC parliamentarians themselves were accused of. But while they remained in their positions, Marlene was fired. And I thought the Prime Minister, by that act, was waiting for an opportunity to get even with the UNC, or at least to show the UNC that they can't have their cake and eat it.
Dr. James also believes the appointment of Alison West as Minister in the Ministry of Finance would be an asset to the government, especially with her expertise in property tax.
She has context knowledge with respect to the implementation of the property tax. And being in the cabinet and therefore in the parliament, in the Senate that is, is better than being outside and making statements.
This is the second cabinet reshuffle since the PNM got into government. Dr. James said the Prime Minister would have information members of the public don't, hence he has made changes as he sees fit. To some other news now, the Arima Mayor, Lisa Morris-Julian, has pledged the council's support and assistance to the family of Rose Mohammed and Videsh Subar. The 13-year-old Videsh Subar and 56-year-old Rose Mohammed were found tied up with their throats slit at their home at Ajim Backstrace, Malabar. In a statement, the mayor said, the council is deeply saddened by this senseless act against one of our respected elders and one of our children. The act is especially troubling at this time when the council's priority is placed on the protection of women and children in the borough. Mayor Morris-Julian said this act has horribly disrupted the lives of an entire community and the council wishes to extend condolences to all those affected. And the Member of Parliament for Dabadi Omera, Ansel Antwine, has also expressed condolences to the family of those killed. He said everything will be done to catch the perpetrators.
Deaths at the hand of murderers has shocked the entire Malabar community, and police will be looking into this matter to expedite the justice as quickly as possible. No stone shall be left unturned until these murderers are brought to justice. Ghastly act that has shocked the entire community, and we leave no one stone unturned until this matter is sorted out.
Well, trade unions are ready to rumble. The president of the Public Service Association, Watson Duke, says the Joint Trade Union Movement, the National Trade Union Center, and the Federation of Independent Trade Unions and Non-Governmental Organizations will be joining hands tomorrow in Tobago for a march, and in early August, the same thing will take place in Trinidad.
I'm therefore calling all PSA members from the north, south, east, west, even Tobago, to be ready for this Armageddon battle. We must unite now or fight and die separately. We must lock arms, lock hearts, and say, my brother is my brother, my sister is my sister. I will stand in his defense.
He said the PSA on several occasions has been trying to meet with the Chief Personnel Officer to discuss terms of employment for civil servants. However, those attempts have failed. Mr. Duke said the PSA is no longer fighting by itself as all unions have come together, united and stronger.
We also want to reach out to the NGOs and the faith-based organizations and community groups also, and say to them, this struggle is not just about terms of employment and conditions of service. It also has to treat with the living conditions under which we live.
Mr. Duke was speaking at a press conference this morning. Now for the weather, sunny intervals interspread with 60% chance of light to moderate afternoon, early evening showers occurring near hilly and western areas. There is a chance some of these showers could become heavy and or thundery. Seas are normal with waves up to 2 meters in open waters. They're calm in sheltered areas. Police are investigating a shooting incident in the Tunapuna area which left one man dead. The incident took place at around 7:30 last night. Reports a residents of Fairley Street heard explosions and contacted police. Officers responded and found the body of an unidentified African male suffering from gunshot wounds to the head. Police say the area is a known drug area. The Miscellaneous Provisions Trial by Judge Alone Bill 2017 was read a third time and passed in the House of Representatives on Wednesday night. The measure seeks to speed up the delivery of justice by having the matter heard before a judge alone. The opposition voted in favor of it in the Senate. However, on Wednesday, the opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Bisesa said she was prepared to give support to the measure, but on further consideration, she realized it contained fundamentally flawed positions. The bill was taken before a committee of the whole, following which the Attorney General wrapped up debate.
There is no need to amend Section 67 and 68 of the Criminal Procedure Act on any one of the arguments offered, inconsistent as they are, by the members of the opposition. This is good law. This is law which is taking a step in the right direction. It is coupled with operationalization at the same time. The government hasn't come here being ashamed.
One of the candidates hoping to become the political leader of the Congress of the People says she has done the research and knows what has to be done to ensure change in the political system in this country. Sharon Ann Gopal McNichol told us when the party was created, it formulated policies with ethics.
The COP is the single party since the history of this country and in the region, because I study the parties in the region, that had the right policies, that had the right values and principles, and said, we negotiated a contract with our members 11 years ago about ethics and to have no corruption and to stand on principle and to service our members and to service our constituents.
He noted the Congress of the People is not a dead party and its members have not left.
Ethics is important. No racial divide. You want parties where you can't see it's a clearly racially divided society. COP had that. No religious divisiveness. We had that.
The fish landing facility in Guayaguayari has officially been handed over to the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries by the National Energy Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago. Minister Clarence Rambarat received the keys from President of the National Energy Company, Dr. Vernon Paltu, on Wednesday. On receiving the keys to the compound, Minister Rambarat said he's very happy to be receiving the keys to this facility on behalf of the community of Guayaguayari in particular, and shared his two-point plan for the use and maintenance of the Guayaguayari fish landing facility. They are making this facility available for the community for uses beyond fisheries, speaking of the possibilities of food processing, particularly smoked fish, a Mayaro brand of fish, and an East Coast brand of chilled or frozen fish, and talking to the leadership in the fisheries sector in this area to commit them to some discussions. The minister also indicated the reality that working with fisherfolk and working with infrastructure across Trinidad and Tobago has been very disheartening since the care that should have been taken in terms of maintenance is absent. President of the International Federation of Aquatic Sports, Julio Maglione, applauded the high standard of the country's aquatic facilities and pledged his support for the continued development of water sports locally at a meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on the 28th of June 2017. At the meeting, Prime Minister Rowley thanked FINA for choosing Trinidad and Tobago as host of the ongoing Central American and Caribbean Amateur Swimming Confederation Championships taking place at the Aquatic Center in Couva, which was designed to meet FINA's requirements for international events. During their discussions, the Prime Minister hoped that TNT will be considered for another tournament and training opportunities. The football now in San Juan Jablote and Northeast Stars kept their winning ways when action continued in the TT Pro League. Stars were 2-1 winners over the depleted Defence Force outfit, which was minus several key players and head coach Marvin Gordon, who was taken to hospital shortly before kickoff. But Jablote, who climbed to second on the table, needed a bit of luck to overcome plucky Morva Caledonia in the nightcap.
Caledonia made their intentions clear very early and carved out a few good looks at goal, but they couldn't hit the target as Jablote took a while to settle into their groove. But it was only a matter of time before the Sour outfit kicked it into gear themselves, as they too came close on a couple of occasions. Still, they had nothing to show for it, as a former Jablote standout and keeper Glenroy Samuel was having the match of his life, denying his former colleagues at every turn. Then Jablote gifted Caledonia the chance of the game, as the awkward bounce falls to the attacker, who watched in disbelief as his stab at goal curls early and ends up wide of the target. And just before the half, they got another glaring chance to take the lead, only this time the keeper came up for Jablote as it remained goalless at the half. Then in the second half, it was Jablote's turn to agonize when the Jamaican Kitty Simpson watched his effort clank off the bar and stayed out. Still, they kept probing, and this free kick is headed towards goal, only for Samuels to come up big yet again. And just when they thought that this wasn't their day, Nathan Lewis produced another telling cross, and defender Kareem Batiste inadvertently turns the ball into his own net, trying to intercept the cross. Caledonia had one last chance but couldn't draw level, as this one ended 1-0 to Jablote, who climbed to 7 points and second place behind W Connections. Earlier, it took Arima-based Northeast Stars just 6 minutes to get the ball rolling, and this delayed cross is turned in quite nicely by Jamul Francois for 1-0 to Stars. They would come calling again, and only the brilliance of the keeper here denied them a second chance. But the Defence Force would show them how it's done as Hashim Assia finishes with some style from a tight angle for 1-1 in the 43rd. And less than a minute later, they almost took the lead when the loose ball is headed wide but dribbles off the boot of the defender and it almost went in just before the interval. But in the second half, Stars ramped it up a bit and showed real intent from the restart. They would be rewarded when a bad miss by the defender is punished. The early ball in is redirected neatly in for the lead in the 68th minute as Rondell Winchester celebrates his first goal for Stars as they walked off 2-1 winners and remained perfect with 2 wins in 2 outings so far under new coach Derek King.